You guys, Mike, are you ready for this? Yeah, you ready for this? Let's get it done. Let's get it done. My partners in state and local government, Assembly Member John McDonald's joined us here, as well as our County Executive Dan McCoy. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Speaking of those two Irish-sounding names that inspire me to say this, there's a classic Irish saying, may the road rise to meet you, right? Okay, well, we're actually going to go out there and meet the roads, and we're going to build more roads so we can make sure that we can rise up and make sure that our roads are the very best in the nation. And, you know, I think about the economic impact of roads. I mean, a lot of people just take it for granted, right? They don't think about what would be like if we did not have safe roads that you could go at speed and deliver literally millions and millions of dollars of goods across our roads. Actually, goods valued at $1 trillion go across our roads every single year. That is extraordinary. And there can be no compromising in the safety and security of our highways and roads to make sure that people get there safely. And millions of New Yorkers themselves rely on our safety, getting kids to school and doctor appointments. And, so I just want to say, I'm here basically to say how grateful I am to all of our union laborers and our heavy equipment operators and people just doing the hard work out there. I have actually gone out and filled some potholes, okay? They told me, keep your day job. But I have made this a mission since my first year as governor, as I traveled places from Long Island all the way up to Buffalo. And I was on a phone call with one of our assembly members talking to her, and she said, I said, where are you? She says, I'm sitting in a car repair shop because I hit a pothole on Long Island, and I have $500 worth of damage, and I'm real unhappy. I said, okay, we're going to do potholes on Long Island all the way across the state. So we have. So I want to thank everyone who's involved in this process. And properly funding our DOT capital plan was an important priority of mine, over $32 billion for our 5-year plan, which was a lot of money, but had not foreseen many, many other costs that have intervened in this since time. We had supply chain issues, and the cost of everything has gone up. We got tariffs now, with the price of goods going up from other countries. So this year, even though that was the largest capital investment in our entire state history, we realized more was needed. And that's why this year we funded an additional $800 million to cover the cost of asphalt and concrete and steel. So our core highway and bridge construction projects can remain on track and make sure our momentum continues. So what's this going to get us? This additional funding will facilitate 180 additional road paving projects statewide on top of the ones that were already ambitious, totaling over 2,150 miles of repaving. So let's take care of those roads. And this is on top of our Pave Our Potholes. I had a slogan, but no one thought it was very good. We want, instead of potholes, we want not holes. But no one didn't really catch on. Okay, I'm trying. Potholes, not holes. But our Pave Our Potholes and our Bridge New York programs are going to be fully funded and make sure that we can protect our roads and bridges from Long Island to Rochester and beyond. So also, taken together, we're looking at 4,000 miles of paving work to be completed in the next year. Are you guys ready for this? 4,000 miles. That's a lot of miles, and it's important. And this is, as I mentioned, the most ambitious resurfacing project in the history of our state. More roads ever paved in a single year since the beginning of our state. So this is celebrating this. Let's make sure that we have a chance to continue to expand our state's infrastructure programs. I believe in them. I think they're important. This is the lifeline, especially as we think about all the roads. And we have a lot of rural areas. We have a lot of bad weather. And the salt and the ice just really take a beating on our roads. And we know the impacts of that as someone from Buffalo who was always seeing potholes on our roads. So I want to talk about the fact that we also have to do this because we're bringing a lot of businesses, particularly upstate. A lot more businesses, a lot of construction going on. We got Micron down the road. We have so many projects everywhere. And so we have to make sure that our roads are safe and reliable. So I want to make sure that I'm just here to celebrate this. I like a good celebration. Delighted to know that in the next 1 year from now, we're looking at 4,000 more miles of New York State roads that are paved. And we're going to continue that ambition that defines us as New Yorkers. And I want to thank again our commissioner for leading the charge and overseeing a group of dedicated public servants who are out there day and night, whether it's the paving projects and other crews that are out there protecting us from the storms and the winds and power lines down and everything else we do. We know what we're in for, but we had the very best at the top of our DOT, and I want to thank our commissioner and welcome her up.
Thank you very much, Governor. Well, I have to say, Governor, as you said, it's really nice to be here at our Latham sub-residency here in the greater capital region. We usually have the occasion to talk about storms, but today I would say it's more of a celebratory occasion. So for us at DOT, this is really, truly a very exciting day. You just announced the most ambitious roads resurfacing agenda that DOT has ever put forward, Governor, and we are incredibly grateful to you. This is a historic investment, $800 million, addition to our capital plan, which, as you said, was already historic. And I think it just goes to the fact that the governor truly understands the important role that infrastructure plays in connecting our communities, in growing our economy across the state of New York, and fundamentally improving the quality of life. If you're sitting in a roadway, you want to have a smooth ride. Your quality of life is everything, and the governor understands that, and this investment helps improve all of that. New York State has some of the oldest roads in the entire country. They're heavily trafficked, they're heavily utilized, and they're frequently subject to severe weather, as the governor noted. But this governor in particular is committed to building back our roads and our bridges, and I want to thank her because she has backed up that commitment, not just with words, but with financial resources to make sure that it gets done. This historic investment for the DOT capital program, which is now $34.3 billion over this 5-year plan, has allowed us to undertake one of the largest road and bridge renewal programs in the nation. And that included an unprecedented level of direct assistance to local municipalities to improve their roads as well. And that's spearheaded by the Pave Our Pothole program that the governor talked about. But the additional support this year that the governor provided in this year's budget has allowing us at DOT to look beyond what's already been planned under our existing program and identify 180 additional paving projects that can all begin in 2026. You just heard the governor, let's get it done. That's what the go-do is. All told, these new projects are ones that are currently programmed. More than 250 projects across the state are planned for 2026. That's nearly a $1.2 billion investment to resurface 4,000 lane miles. Just to give you a sample of that, the governor was talking about Long Island. Vital roadways that are going to be covered in this investment include Interstate 490 in Rochester, the Meadowbrook Parkway on Long Island, Route 9A in Westchester, the Bronx River Parkway in New York City, and here in the capital region, the Northway. That and many, many more roads are going to be covered by this investment. 2026 is going to be an exciting year, and we can't wait to get started to really carry out the governor's vision. She has a vision of connecting communities through transportation. She has a vision of making sure that the quality of life, the safety, and the affordability of all New Yorkers is protected, and infrastructure and public safety are key to all of that. So thank you very much, Governor, for all of the work that you do each and every day. And thank you for acknowledging the incredible crews that it takes at DOT to get all of that work done. Our leadership is here from DOT. Our workforce is here, the men and women who literally carry out all the work. They work in incredibly dangerous conditions out on the roadways each and every day. So my ask of the public is, they're going to go out there, they're going to make our roads safer for all of you. Please respect their workplace, which is the roadway. Please pay attention to what you're doing and slow down in work zones. Thank you very much. Thank you, Governor.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you, Commissioner. Thank you, Governor. What an honor it is to be here with both of you today to celebrate this great news. We're New York. We're the Empire State. We're the greatest state in the nation. And our people shouldn't be driving around on roads, dodging potholes, roads looking like the surface of the moon, bridges that look like they might better be in the State Museum, right? As the Governor and Commissioner said, we're an old state. We were building this infrastructure long before much of the rest of the country. And then there's this thing called winter. The rumor is it's coming back. So you'll probably be back here before too long, Governor, during a snowstorm. It takes a toll on our infrastructure. We've had decades of underinvestment in our infrastructure. Then came the bipartisan infrastructure bill. What a thing. Bipartisan. That can still happen, right? Amazing, isn't it? A big deal. New York did very well under that bill. And then the governor's 5-year capital plan, the biggest in history. Things should be looking up, right? Well, enter inflation, enter material cost escalation, enter tariffs, which has dramatically eroded the spending power of this 5-year plan. More than a year of the capital plan gone up in inflationary smoke. The governor answered that call with the $800 million add to the capital program. When we thanked her on the way in, she said to the commissioner and me, well, you nagged me enough about it. We did. That's our job. That's what we're here to do. It wasn't just us. There was a lot of other people nagging alongside of us. Commissioner, our partners in organized labor, laborers, operating engineers, carpenters, our partners in the industry, New York Construction Materials, Ron Epstein, John Cooney from CIC, the GCA, Long Island Contractors Association, the whole business community was supporting this because they know they can't do what they do without reliable infrastructure. And by the way, what you're announcing today is not only an historic investment in roads and bridges. This is the biggest mid-capital plan add to the DOT capital plan in history. It's a big deal. It's also, we talk about affordability a lot in New York. It's also a tax cut for New Yorkers. We have what we call the pothole tax. Bad road and bridge conditions cost New Yorkers about $38 billion a year. Talk about that assembly member that hit the pothole. That's happening every day. This will improve our road and bridge conditions. It'll help our economy. It'll put people to work, the men and women of DOT, the men and women of our industry, and it will save New Yorkers money. It's a big deal. And we commend the governor for that. I thank you, Governor, for making this happen. I thank the legislature for joining with you to finally get it done. Let's get to work. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Where blues won't haunt you anymore. With a brave heart, free love is so ride with me to the distant shore. We won't hesitate. Break down the garden gate. There's not much time today.